Slow down, you move too fast. Gotta make the morning last. Kicking down the cobblestones. Looking for fun and feeling groovy. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-dum, feeling groovy.
Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to the bridge. Today is episode 115. Yes. And we have a very special guest with us today, Nora Carlson. I'm going to have her introduce herself in a minute. But Sandy, have you got a quote for us today?
I do. This is by Walt Whitman. An oldie but goldie information, right? Keep your face towards the sunshine and shadows will fall behind you.
Nice.
Keep looking
Well,
for the good stuff.
That's right. And in Washington State today, it is bright and sunny.
That's right.
We can actually do that today. Well, Nora, thank you so much for coming on with us. Nora Carlson, you guys, this is a very old friend of mine. She was my first official client as a coach. And so she is wonderful. She's a wonderful lady, has a wonderful story, and she's a fellow educator like Sandy and I. So Nora, please introduce yourself to us and tell us your passions and what you're up to and some of your story.
Well, good morning, everyone out there online. And thank you, Sue and Sandy, for inviting me to be a part of your conversation. It's really an honor to join you. And let's see, how do I introduce myself? I don't know how much you would like at this point, but I'll just
let you go with it.
I'll go with it. So I'll just say, I was born in Pasadena, California, was a Southern California gal for the first 9 years of my life. And then my family moved to Spokane, Washington.
Okay.
And and lived over in Eastern Washington for the rest of my school age years, and then went to Washington State University. Go Cougs, everyone out there. And graduated from there, then moved over to Western Washington, where I've been living ever since. And my degree was in elementary education, special education. Okay. So that brought me over to teaching in Marysville, Washington, followed by Edmonds School District. Then I finished out my career in North Shore School District, and great experiences. I feel very honored to have been in this career for many, many years, to connect with kids and their parents. And I still run into people sometimes who I've had their child who's now grown, or I worked with the parents, and that long connection. And you're going to hear me say connection a lot, right. I think, because that's what it's all about for me.
Yeah, in life. You connect with people.
You do. And it's amazing when you meet someone long ago and then you re-meet them in a totally different setting. It's just a marvelous kind of thing. And I think every one of us, when we connect with each other, we know other people in common.
Sure.
That web of connection is very, very special. So if I were to say anything, I think that's my main word that I resonate with very, very much.
I always got a kick when you would run into a student. I was early childhood education, so it was like 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, basically. They were always shocked that I was somewhere outside of the school. Like they just thought I lived there all the time.
Like you have a cot in the closet somewhere.
Right,
you just live in your classroom. Yeah. Sometimes it felt that way.
Yeah, right.
Long hours.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Nora, I'm going to bring up a word that maybe I've used it with you before, but you are very entrepreneurial, because when I met you, you were pontificating in your head about making a big change. Mm-hmm. And it was a big, courageous leap, and you did it, and you succeeded wonderfully. So that's the first word I'm going to give you, is entrepreneurial. Tell me about you being an entrepreneur.
So I taught for 25 years, and it went very, very well for many years. And then I was starting to get this pull to go a different direction, to do a career shift. And that's when I learned about Sue McGuire here.
Yeah.
And we spent many, many times on the phone talking about what might be next. And I remember vividly in our conversations when you would bring up, do you see a path forward yet? In what I felt like I was being called to. And I'm sure people relate to that word, a calling, a pull, intuition, whatever you call it. And each time I would say to Sue, I just see fog.
Right,
I don't
right.
see a path yet. I don't know what's next. But over time, slowly but surely, a path, literally like stepping stones, started to appear in my mind
Right.
of what that
Right.
path forward. And then she helped me so much with identifying what would I be doing each day? What would the setting be like? Who would I be with? And
Right.
on and on and on. And it was extremely helpful. I think that was 7 or 8 months of working with you, Sue. And thank you very much for your guidance.
You're very welcome. You're an awesome person, individual. You're
Thank you.
very powerful and intuitive. I wanted to remind you of the intuition, and it really has to do with this visual. You are, I would say, I'm thinking you're a very visual person. But
Yes.
besides the visualness, she's got this sense of place. Because I remember when you were looking for a house,
Mm.
when you went into houses that were not it, you knew it. You just knew it. Something clicked. Can you tell me more about that intuition? Because it's fascinating to me.
So I guess relating it back to, I'll go with career first, or did you want
Yeah,
house?
whatever. It's
Career.
just your intuition.
I knew teaching education worked really, really well. But what I noticed, what I was focusing on so much in the classroom was the classroom community, where everyone is welcome, everyone belongs, parents as well, and even calling the teachers who would take the class when I wasn't there, I always referred to them as guest teachers, not substitutes. We are one and the same. And when I was noticing more and more my focus on social skills with kids, social emotional
Right.
learning, and how important that is, I know you two understand that fully.
Yeah.
How important you need to have social skills as life skills.
Yeah, for sure.
We can always learn facts and figures and much of that, but it's being able to relate to people, being kind, being empathetic, et cetera, et cetera. So that's where my focus became for my next career shift, was that.
Mhm.
And so I started imagining with Sue's guidance, what is that sense of place? What would my workplace be like? And I would write about it, whatever came up, and just trusting that inner voice, trusting that imagery, trusting that you'll feel it. It will flow. It's a little bit like on a sailboat. If you've ever been on a boat and you have the rudder in your hands, and when the sheets are just catching the wind right, you feel it
Mhm.
right there in
Right.
the rudder.
Right.
It's flow. So that's another word, is flow. Trust things will work out.
Mhm.
And so I actually ended up in a setting that I imagined. So
Mhm.
another word I come up with is manifest. I really
Right.
believe you
Mhm.
can manifest what you desire by visualizing, by putting up photos of what you imagine you could do next or where you want to travel, and talk about it with everyone you know. And more energy goes towards manifesting
Mhm.
what you imagine.
Yeah.
So I did. I landed where I needed to be
Yeah.
next. And it was still within education, where I was assisting educators
Uh-huh.
in a role at Committee for Children in downtown Seattle.
Yeah.
And then I found out all these other skill sets I didn't know I had. So those emerged by taking that leap of faith. I
Yeah.
hope that answered your question, Sue.
Oh, it did. And I want to, as you bring up social skills, one of the, I'm calling it a newer word because in the last year I've heard it a lot and I wasn't hearing it so much before, is the word presence.
Oh,
Because that's really what makes you a good teacher, no matter who your audience is, whether they're teachers or kids or just humans, the ability to be there and not be somewhere else when you're talking to them.
mm-hmm.
And that's definitely a social skill. And I would say that you've always been present. And I'm thinking that's why you're so good at community building and connection, is because you're there. People know when somebody's present with them.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can really connect. You make authentic connections.
Yeah.
And
Going back to Nora, what you're talking about, visualizing. If you remember Stephen Covey in the 7 Effective Habits,
yes.
that was way back when we were starting our careers. But I remember him talking about the fact that if you're going on a trip and you put a map in front of you and you have no idea where you are going on that trip, it's not as effective. And definitely being able to say, leaving the, like you said, the flow of being able to change as you need to, as you go, as your dream changes or your vision changes as to what it's going to look like for end result, still is a good idea to have a clear idea of, this is really what I would like to do. This is where I want to go with my career. Then you are controlling your life instead of your life controlling you.
Yeah. And I wanted to bring up your previous guest, Karen, I think was her first name.
Yeah. Karen Rab.
Where she talked about that her students knew she cared about them.
Mm-hmm.
They knew that by how she treated them, how she was present with them. And that really impressed me. Yeah. And she was very present with both of you during your podcast. So
yes.
Well, it's very apparent. And so I want to throw something else in. I seem to throw this in a lot, but it's so important. Is Maslow's hierarchy. We have to feel safe before we can move on to connecting with others. And that's why presence is so important. That creates a type of safety. I mean, we can create safety in other ways too, but it's just imperative. And it's for adults as well as children. And as adults, it's always been my premise that most adults are more shut down than kids when it comes to.
Yeah, and there's something about really being seen.
Yes.
You know when you're being seen by someone and being listened to also. And what a gift.
Oh, it is.
Right.
It is
Right.
to everyone. Especially
basic human need is to be seen and heard.
Absolutely.
Even little babies, they need to be touched and cuddled, and that's their seeing and hearing you're talking to them.
Exactly.
But 90-year-old people need to be seen and heard. And if you fulfill that need, you plugged it in.
Yeah.
Well, when you really truly show that you love somebody, or you feel totally loved, looking at it from the other side, you feel drawn to that person because you feel like that is going to help fill your soul.
Yes.
And you're exactly right, Nora. Is that it's how people feel around us because of how we show up in the present moment to care about them.
Right. And I know I tell people, friends, family, that my number one way of communicating, my favorite way, is in person.
Yeah.
Of course.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because then there's, you're fully present
with
each other. And then from there, it's okay. Phone calls are fine.
Yeah.
Texting is okay.
Yeah. You're right.
Words and letters, but it's in person that's the most special of all.
Most satisfying.
Well, because the communication is only a small percentage of words. It's the facial feedback back and forth, and that's so much of what healthy communication involves.
Absolutely. Yes, agreed. And I know I'm pretending that we're sitting around a table right now.
Yeah, right.
And we each have our cup of tea or coffee, and we're in the same space.
There you go.
Oh, and I have my glass of water. So,
Yeah, okay.
I guess I just have this.
oh, okay. Okay.
I water in a
Clink, clink.
That's
really
right. That's
place.
right.
So,
Pretend.
That's
Nora,
right.
Okay. Yes.
I know you from the process that we work through together.
Yes.
You not only are a good visualizer, but part of that manifestation you're talking about is feeling the feeling.
Hmm.
And I know you're good at that. And I am working on that. I am not very good at feeling my feelings.
Mm.
So tell me about that. Does that just come with you naturally? Did you learn it?
No, I think it's over time. Really,
Mm,
I think it's so easy, probably especially as women of certain age range, to discount
mm,
your feelings or what you believe you want to do in life. But
mm,
then over time, you start figuring it out
mm,
a bit more. And I think that's probably my journey too. It was not something always there. It probably was when I was a very little girl.
mm.
When I look back at photos of myself, I can kind of see who I was,
That little spark, yeah.
that spark person. And then over time, kind of, oh, I need to be this, I need to be that,
Yeah.
and then it's like, no, I just need to be me. And I think it really started for me in high school, junior high.
Uh,
Share this little bit. You don't know about this, but it's kind of fun, I think. Is I was a flute player
Oh,
in elementary school. You were?
a,
Oh,
no, a flautist, I
a
said.
flautist.
Flautist.
that's right.
And my parents really wanted my brother and I to learn a musical instrument, which we both carried on that musical love for many years. And so the flute, I chose that, but I really wanted to be a percussionist. I just love the drum pads and all the different instruments that you can rattle and shake and make noise. But I'm glad I stayed with the flute. But then I was caught by the bug of bagpipes
That's
in
right.
late junior high, because where I was headed to high school in Spokane, Shadle Park High School, the home of the Highlanders, they had a pipe band.
Oh,
And at that
nice.
time, it was all women, all young women. And I thought, that's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to do. So I did that. I changed, shifted instruments to another woodwind and loved it. You know, the whole sound, the uniform, and it changed my life. Absolutely trajectorily changed it because I became a lot more confident in myself. People saw me differently in that uniform. And this instrument was my voice
Yeah.
for a while. And then that led to some leadership roles that I don't think I would have done
Hmm.
without that instrument
Hmm.
and the life skills that being in that band taught me.
Yeah. That's
So
beautiful.
that was pivotal choice.
Yeah, that's right. I remember. I somehow remember learning that you were,
Oh, maybe I did. Okay.
yeah, because you were playing different places and
Okay. Yeah.
excited about it. So I want to bring another word up that
Yes.
I'm really hearing as you're talking, and it kind of moves into your journey. But the word is courage.
Mm.
You
Mm.
you've kind of acted in courage many times.
Hmm.
You've described several of them. Tell me about you and courage, and maybe go back to that little sparkly girl. When were you courageous as a little kid?
Oh gosh, courageous. Boy, I think I would call myself a tomboy for
Oh,
sure. I
okay.
look back at photos and I'm usually in like little shorts and
Yeah, right.
t-shirts and dresses
Ready to go play.
were okay, but I needed to move, I needed to be active and just do things.
Mhm.
I still like dressing now, but I could see that little girl. But being courageous, I guess, just being myself
Yeah.
a lot then, and
Hmm.
then I kind of lost that person for a little while and tried to fit in. I suppose. So then I think it came back again in high school, like I was saying. Then that was a courageous choice to
Right,
do that
right.
instead of the nice feminine flute.
Yeah, I
Very
was going to
and
say that you stepped out of the norm with your
yes,
bagpipe.
You go.
That was
yeah,
not
yeah,
a normal thing for most
right.
people. Do you
No,
still play bagpipe now, Nora?
I haven't for a while because last spring I was walking my nephew's two Weimaraners dogs, and they were great. They were well behaved. We had a great time, but then there was a sidewalk that was uneven that I didn't see coming under them, and I tripped on it, fell, and broke the fourth metacarpal in my
Oh,
left hand.
Oh,
oh no.
So I
Oh
was out of
no.
commission, but I'm a right-handed person, so it was okay. But I haven't tried to play yet,
Mhm.
and I'm not sure if I will be able to again.
yeah,
But I'm okay with that. You
yeah,
know, I
yeah.
I can go hear pipe bands and all
Right.
that.
Mhm.
So, but
It's good for a season, right?
yeah, it
Mhm.
could have been a season, and that's
Yeah,
fine for many, many years. But so I don't know. We'll see. I just need to give it a go, but I have to be prepared that I might not be able to.
Right.
I need to be courageous and bring them
Exactly.
out, put them
well,
together, and try.
it's actually courageous either way.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
courageous to say, I'm done with this. What's next?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes letting go is harder than
Oh,
doing
yes.
what you used to do.
Yes.
You know.
And I guess when we moved from Spokane, from California to Spokane, I had to be courageous. We all had to be courageous and start all over again.
Mhm.
A very different place, all new people. And that took time
Hmm.
to
Yes,
really
it does.
get settled back into a groove of friends, you
Mhm.
know. So,
Yeah. So tell me, I want to
yes,
bring it back
yes.
to when you did move, new
Mhm.
school, new neighborhood, and your family was in transition too.
Oh, everyone was.
But
Yes.
you in yourself are a connector and a community builder.
If
How
a
do
friend of
you?
mine watches this, and I know she will, she'll go, "Yes, that's the word. That's what people call me." Is
Uh-huh.
that exact word, Sue? How did you know?
Would work with some intuition sometimes.
Yes.
So tell me how did you dip your toe in the water back then and can be start connecting and building community?
Just, starting with neighborhood kids and,
Hmm.
starting easy and then trying in school. But it took a little while for sure. And that's why I say high school was really that was it. That's where I just started to come back to
Uh-huh.
my person,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know, and connecting with others. And I had an image or something. I'm not sure how to describe it, but it just all kind of came together. And so I learned how to just keep showing up, keep
yeah,
showing up, just
I
keep
love it.
trying. The longer you keep getting around people, the more you get to know each other. And so
Yeah,
I've applied that through life, leaving. I've noticed each transition, like changing to a different school or different school district or different environment, different home, there's always that period of adjustment.
yeah,
And to try to be really patient with that process. And in time, you just settle in.
Yeah.
yeah. And then you're dealing with different types of people. You
Oh,
know, you're dealing with other connectors that want to connect right away. Then
yeah,
you're dealing with some of the people that aren't so sure and takes a while.
Hmm.
Um,
yeah.
Yeah.
So another time, so I was at Committee for Children for a number of years, to go back to that for a minute.
yeah,
And then in 2008, the economic downturn, as you recall, and they had to let go many staff. Couldn't support that many staff because school districts were not purchasing the programs as much. It was back to the basics. So then I had a period of not working for a little bit, but then a friend invited me to work at the Kirkland Chamber of Commerce as their business manager.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
That's why I wanted to say a connection, a direct connection that led me there.
yeah,
And it turned out I was using skills from being a teacher,
Right.
skills from doing conferences, or, all these things I'd done before coalesced into that role. And I also ran the visitor center, so people would come in, and I love to just interact with people and help them find their way, whatever their way is, whatever they're looking for. And
Mm.
so again, I learned things that I didn't know I had about connecting with people. And it's basically looking right at people, listening, and supporting.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that was another connection.
Well, you need to bottle that.
Right.
What do we call it?
No, I don't know. We'll come up with something pretty good.
Okay.
But because not everybody is willing to do it.
Mhm.
Not everybody has the level of empathy in them to do it, or level of care. But they can do it. Everybody it's capable.
Mhm.
But it does take you got to learn to step in and try it out. We did a book study on the podcast last year of Mel Robbins' The Let Them Theory. I don't know if you're familiar
Oh,
with it. And my favorite part of her book is in the back where she talks about friendships in different phases of life,
mhm.
and how to, she moved to a place where she didn't know anybody. And she went into a coffee shop every day and just started connecting with people. And that's what it takes. And to some people, that's horribly scary, but it's better than sitting home alone, because that's not healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
Healthy
Right.
at all.
And you referred to the time that it takes, and I think that that's the only way to have a deep relationship with somebody is to have the time and the experiences and the memories that build on each other.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
think it's also important to try not to use the word busy. I'm
Right.
too busy. I'm so
Right.
busy.
Right.
Because that sends a message to friends and family that you're not
Yeah.
available
Right.
to them.
You choose your own schedule if nobody else can do that.
Yeah,
So busy doesn't have to be a part of that. Right.
exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
I love the Parker Palmer quote that says, "Know your students well." And it's, you need to know your friends well too. That's the way you connect, is by knowing
Right.
people well.
Yeah.
And you don't have to start with personal questions. It's not connecting and being present isn't about being snoopy.
No, it's just being available, being open,
Oh,
and like you're
Observing.
doing. It's the same as what we're doing
yeah.
here, isn't
Right.
it?
Right.
It's just this back and forth conversation.
Mhm.
Not one person is dominating. We're all just kind of flowing back and forth. It's back to that word
Yeah,
flow.
yeah, there you
You
go.
two do this very, very well. And if I can, this is a totally different thing, but Sue, I just want to say this on here is that when we were connecting on the phone, when I first started working with you so long ago now, which was life altering, um, your voice on the phone was so warm and supportive. And I really wondered, how is this going to work that we're talking on the phone rather than in person,
Mhm,
not having visual connection?
mhm.
But the warmth that came through
Right.
was so clear. And I felt so supportive just from your voice. And I
Well,
said that to you then. And now
yeah,
what's happening now is I said, you could have a radio show,
she
be
did.
really good at that. And
Yeah,
here you are. It's
and
not
you were
ex-
going to be my music person, weren't you?
That's right. I was going to do the lead-in music for you, and here
Yeah,
you are,
yeah. Here I am
manifested
with my
ultimate.
crackly voice because of some issues I had with,
Wow.
and I was really reticent to do this because I used to have a different voice.
Well, we all used to have things.
Yes.
Right. Right.
What you
Things
have now.
change. Life changes.
But
Yes, indeed.
Sandy wanted to do a blog, and I said, no, let's do a podcast. And we just said, okay. And then we kept putting it off. And then for one day, we just said, no, we're
Let's
going to
do
go.
it.
We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know anything. Our first couple of podcasts were just audio. And then we found Restream, and we play with it. We have challenges every time we do it.
Well, it's part of the process, and I can
It
say
is. It
I
is.
knew those two women when
Yeah.
They were first kind of in doing this, and now they're progressed to,
Yeah.
no, maybe, who knows? Who knows where this will go for for
Yeah.
both of you?
Yeah. And the funniest part, I don't know that I've shared this with you, Nora, but the surprise for me in all of this is my favorite part, besides this, is recruiting.
Hmm.
So connecting.
It is
You
all
know,
You
that.
guys, a great job.
I find people on
Great
LinkedIn,
job.
and invite them. Then I kind of sometimes, if I feel like I should, kind of lean into what they're doing, and then I invite them, and I would say 98% say yes, or maybe next year. So,
Mhm.
All it takes is asking, right?
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, I love it. So, what somebody who is out there that is really probably still in the work world, or maybe not, maybe just retired and really doesn't know how to connect. What would be some suggestions or advice you might have for some people out there that really are attracted to some of this work but don't really know where to start? What might you tell them?
Just connecting in general, or connecting
I think in general,
career wise, or
both,
anyway.
either and in both.
I think if it's interest, if it's look at what you love to do. What is it you're interested in naturally? Is it gardening? Is it music? Is it um, reading? Is it books? What is it? And then seek out existing groups that are already out there, or maybe there's a neighbor you meet
Mm-hmm.
who has the same interest as you. Is find those people or places that are already there
Mm-hmm.
and just try it out, and
Have
just
courage. Huh?
have courage, just step forward, give it a go. It may or may not be a fit, but at least try.
Yeah,
Yeah.
At
yeah,
least give it a try. And
yeah.
the
Doing
more
nothing,
you
you won't
show
get
up,
anywhere, right?
right,
Doing nothing,
the
you
more
won't.
you show up and
Yeah.
smile, be present, listen. I find the best conversations start with listening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so Sandy, I don't know very much about you. Where do you live?
Yeah.
Or what do you love to do? Or and just let it go from there.
Right.
So that's
Yeah,
what I would say.
that's good. Good, very good advice. So, what is kind of to wrap this up for now, and you're not off the hook here. I want you back, and I want you to tell Laura to contact me.
Yes.
And I'm actually looking for some co-hosts this summer because Sandy's going to be out
Oh,
July and August. He's taking some time off, so if you might,
for you, Sandy.
yes, you're gonna. If you
Yeah.
don't co-hosting, just think about it.
I
I'm
think that would be fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Great
Well,
fun.
You have
now
fun with it.
now you're on my list. Um,
Okay.
good. Thank you. See,
You're welcome.
I recruited.
Welcome.
Thank you. On air, I recruited you.
Okay.
But so let's just think about. We've had a marvelous conversation, and we could go on for hours. And it would be lovely if sometime we could meet for coffee and lunch sometime. But we'll try for that anyway. What's one takeaway?
Oh, we're already to the takeaway. Oh my gosh, that went by fast.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I guess the takeaway is I needed more time with both of you,
Oh
because
yeah,
I wasn't sure really what you wanted to talk about, but now I know it just sort of flows with whatever comes up.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
You had the questions you wanted to ask for clarification. That's my takeaway, is we needed more time.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
there,
We'll do more Nora part two.
oh, and I wanted my takeaway too is I'd love to know more about, I know quite a bit about you, Sue, but I don't know very much about you, Sandy.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
if I were a co-host, let's have Sandy on.
well, I don't know. She said she's going to be off for the summer, but maybe we could
Well,
talk.
in September,
We
maybe.
could do that though. We could do a turnaround. That would be okay.
That would
That
be
would be fun.
that would be really fun.
And for anyone else who is going to be recruited or wants to be recruited, this is so much fun. It's
Yeah.
very relaxing. It's I felt very welcomed
Good.
and honored, really.
Yeah.
by
Well,
doing this.
love
Thank
Well,
it.
you.
Nora, I have 5 children and 12 grandchildren, so that explains why I need a couple of months off so I can be out there partying with them.
There you go.
That's right. Yeah,
That's what excites her too. That's her passion.
Good for
that is,
you.
that is. That's it. They're just like, whoa.
Are
So
you traveling somewhere?
We do a camp out every year down at Mayfield Lake, and my kids are kind of scattered. We have somebody over in Walla Walla, and we have somebody down by Battleground in Washington, and yeah, we have somebody in Alaska. Yeah, we just want to be available when we can be.
Good for you.
yeah.
Traveling around in your RV or
I just we you know what, we actually are getting ready to sell our RV. We bought a city bus that had handicapped accessibility because my husband is in a wheelchair.
okay.
And so we're trying to move on and probably just go in person and pop over. So actually, what's going to be fun is that we're meeting together on the 18th of July to celebrate my granddaughter who's turning 18 on the 18th down at Battleground. And my granddaughter, one of my granddaughters, just her and her husband just bought the new house. So I got a hold of Abigail and said, how about letting Grandpa and Graham come and stay with you in your new uh, guest room? And she said, yeah, come on down. So that's on our list.
Very good.
That's good. So Nora, back to recruiting. If you know anybody who has an interesting story, you probably know lots of people.
I do.
Just give them my name and have them send me an email or somehow connect us because I'd love to invite them on.
Very good. And if you have any ideas of, what kinds of background people like you need more authors because you're going to do the
Yeah, if we're going to do it with authors, yeah. Well, I'm going to try to do a panel with authors.
panel, yes.
So, but we could have the person on first.
Right.
So however that would work.
I will think about people who would be very interesting to have a conversation with.
That would be great. So my takeaway is connection, and you are an awesome connector, and I really remember you visualizing things, talking about how you're visualizing and how intuitive you are with knowing. That knowing just would overtake you. I remember that about you and think about it often, and it pushes me into trying to be more intuitive and more feeling my feelings and being better at some of those things. So thank you so much.
You are very, very welcome.
Well, everybody, it's been lovely having you on the bridge with us. We will have a Nora part 2.
Yeah.
And we look forward to that, Nora. Thank you. I'm going to close us now, but you hang on, Nora. We have a few questions when the recording stops.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.